Darlene, do you know what was happening at the halftime show? Because I don't know. I want to say I don't know who that guy is, but...
What's good, y'all? That Bad Bunny performance, it did break some records, but it caused a lot of controversy. Put a video up about Vlad going in saying music not universal. Nobody want to hear that. All the non-Spanish speaking people was bored at the Super Bowl parties. Now, we know Corey don't bite his tongue. What will he have to say about the Bad Bunny performance, the whole ICE situation, anti-ICE? Let's get into it. Appreciate y'all tuning in.
I got to talk about this halftime show at the Super Bowl. I didn't watch the whole thing, but I watched enough, but I couldn't understand what was happening. Darlene, do you know what was happening at the halftime show? Because I don't know. I want to say I don't know who that guy is, but congratulations on being selected to work the halftime of the Super Bowl with all that's going on in this country with the Latina brothers and sisters.
Latinos, yeah. Well, he's an advocate for all that. So he's always spoke his mind. He's always spoke his mind against the immigration system and how it's working and not working.
Do you know I didn't even know that? But I know. I was like, they got a guy at the halftime speaking Spanish. This is different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So he's a advocate.
Oh yeah, and
for what? I want to make sure I got it right.
For just against everything that's out there right now, especially the immigration system and ICE for sure. So hold on, I'm gonna pull this up. Yeah, Bad Bunny. He's Puerto Rican. I actually have a Puerto Rican uncle.
Can we tell the black people, especially the black people, because we from Chicago and we don't know this. What is the difference between the Puerto Rican people and the Mexican people, Darlene? Do you know?
Well, they're from Puerto Rico.
Right. Well, do you know how they became Puerto Ricans?
No, I didn't do any. I didn't do any of that research on Puerto Rico, but I do have a Puerto Rican uncle.
All of the slave ships didn't go to America, and a lot of people don't know. That's the guy.
Bad Bunny, yes.
Bad Bunny. It makes sense. So he's Puerto Rican?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So do you know what that is? Well, Puerto Rico is part of the United States, but why do they look like that? Because there's a lot of people who don't know. The slave ships didn't all drop the slaves in America. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Is that a black man? But people don't know that. I'm telling you, I'm from Chicago, one of the most segregated cities in the world. People don't know that Puerto Ricans are the slaves that get dropped off over there. People don't know that.
All right, real quick, y'all. In regards to what Corey was saying about the Puerto Ricans, a couple distinctions do need to be made. He's kind of right, but for the most part, the difference between them and the other islands in the states is that their indigenous population was colonized and taken over. The men gotten rid of for the most part. The women were integrated. So it's mostly Spanish men and Taino women. So when you look at the profiles genetically, you'll see on the matrilineal line, more than half of them have the Taino Indian in their matrilineal line, DNA-wise. And 60+% of them have the patrilineal line. What does that mean? That means if the men weren't around, who was going to be the fathers? It would be the Spaniards. And that's why their lineage goes back that way. The African population is less than a quarter, like 20 to 25%. It's not like other areas like Haiti or the United States, where that's where that influence was. A lot of folks, and don't want to offend anybody, but a lot of people with the PR background, they don't even have any African in them. They just have European Spanish and they have Taino Indian. You know what I mean? Native to that land. So that's where it gets a little confusing. And that's why on job applications, when you see Hispanic, which simply means Spanish speaking, doesn't mean anything about your lineage, just the language you speak, it will have the designation of white or non-white, because there's still a distinction. Are you an African Hispanic? Are you a non-African, meaning European and Taino Indian type of deal? So that gets real confusing. And a lot of discussions around cultural appropriation and things like that. And should they use the N-word? And they get real blurry because they're tied to our culture. We're tied to, you know what I mean? Like, we integrate a lot, especially in the States and big cities and whatnot. And a lot of us don't see any differences. But that, for those that care, that's kind of like the technical breakdown. And you can really look that up yourself. But let's get back to the content, y'all.
And there's a wide
most of them, not all of them, of course, most of them. What is that? Look at the bottom down there.
And they're all Latinos. You know what I'm saying? They all, yes.
There's a lot of people don't know that, because when I first came to LA, I did not know the difference between Mexicans and Puerto Ricans. And when I lived in Chicago, I had a Puerto Rican friend, but I didn't understand what Puerto Ricans was. On my basketball team, it was a Puerto Rican dude. His name was Hector. And I didn't understand that. I just thought it was a Spanish person. I didn't understand there's a difference between the Mexican people from out here and the Puerto Ricans. If people know what it's like to be in the dark, all city folks don't know the darkness.
They freak out when it goes
Let me
out.
tell you something. If you live in a major city in the United States of America, you don't know darkness.
There it is. Look at
When
that.
we went to the Virgin Islands and they had power outages while we were there, that was my first time ever seeing darkness.
Ooh,
I have never seen the darkness of a jungle or of an island where there's nothing but hopefully the moon. You can't see your hand in front of your face. Mm-hmm. So if you're saying Puerto Rico was out of power for how long?
A year. I believe it was a year, my uncle said, yeah.
Do you know the strength that comes from having to be in the dark?
Which you have to adapt to, yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's what Bain said. Let me tell you something. When you're in the dark, you become something stronger. Right now, I'm in the dark. Evil forces are at me, and there's nothing I can do about it right now. I have to wait to get justice, and that's okay. That's okay. But the darkness, which is looked down on, listen what I'm saying. The darkness, which is something that is looked down on, the darkness makes you really strong. So to the people of Puerto Rico and anywhere else who have become strong in the dark because you've been placed in a situation where you have to be strong in the dark, I salute you. Because I wasn't out there, but the power went out for about 20 minutes, and I never forget that. It's this comedian named Jay Phillips. His room was next to me in the room. I was standing there. He came out. He said, Corey. Only reason I know his voice. I said, oh, that's Jay. Where you at? Right here. The darkness is different. City life spoils you in a way when it comes to really being in the dark. Do you know in the darkness, these cameras won't work? Have you thought about that?
Yeah, like the internet goes away or power goes away. You know?
If you're in the dark, you can get away with dirt if you know how to move in the dark. The powers that be know that we need to shine light on these people so that we can pin them down and charge them with what we will.
All right, y'all, there it is, man. Shout out to my people from the PR and with that type of background. They got their own history that should be appreciated and things that they dealt with over the last 400 or 500 years. And it shouldn't be confused with other people's walk along this path. There's been a lot of minorities that have struggled and have different histories. So appreciate theirs for what it is. That's why I gave that little breakdown. You know what I'm saying? And for anybody with that lineage, if you want to clarify things in the comments and make sure, check me on my work, be happy to hear that too, man. But appreciate everybody tuning in, man. Until next time, it's your boy. We out.